you serve me your sausage? Because I'm ready for dinner.
Now, TikTok as a platform is basically infected with OnlyFans content at this point. It's a race to the bottom, and these creators are doing anything they can to funnel people to their pages.
I wasn't doing anything, I swear. I'm just making sure the bed's ready.
Now, if you don't know, this girl's name is Grace, and I ain't exaggerating. She might be the worst of them, because the videos you've seen already, obviously they're bad enough on their own. We could sit here all day and watch these, but I'll be real, I just don't want to, because as well as these, she actually uses an even worse tactic. She basically pretends to be in relationships with TikTok creeps, and the result of this stunt is obviously as bad as you would expect it to be.
I think the brick's gone down.
Till later.
This lad's name is Ryan Windridge, and he's got some interesting stuff on his record. By interesting, obviously, I mean concerning. We have been through it before, and we're going to go through it in a little bit, but it is very weird, and for maybe a year now, he has been continually pressed.
Stop messaging young girls.
I don't message young girls.
Stop Snapchatting them.
I don't Snapchat.
Okay.
Turns out he might actually be doing that. He's on record DMing 18-year-olds, which obviously isn't a crime. But when you're in your 30s, it speaks for itself, really.
QT, bet your figure is hot. They call me Big Thick Ryan.
These are my pictures. There's a little close-up. So let me start off by saying I tweeted about this in 2022. It happened when I was 18. I'm now 20.
Again, we're going to get into that in a little bit because it's worth working up to. Just for now, though, all I know is every time he kind of addresses this, it does just get a little bit creepier.
I suppose there's a trend of all these TikTokers going out with younger women.
Yeah, there is. What man doesn't like a younger woman?
As responses to underage girl allegations go, this is maybe the worst thing he could have said. Even P. Diddy's got his head in his hands, like, say anything else. Grace, the girl we're talking about today, she is actually 12 years younger than him, but by his standards, that's actually quite good. He's actually also the youngest guy that Grace has kind of been with or run this gimmick with, because her digital footprint, as digital footprints go, it's not great. Because the first creep she linked up with, in a long line of creeps, it was this guy. Obviously, it's Paul Breach. I'm not even sure he needs an intro at this point. He is essentially known as TikTok's biggest creep, and he's known as that for a reason. Among many highlights, he got a 17-year-old pregnant when he was in his late 20s. It's rite of passage for a TikTok creep, but this guy, he's just generally known for being very weird and very pushy with women.
Marry me, or I'll eat you.
And it's with that in mind that, you know, if you're a 19-year-old girl and you know all this stuff, maybe wouldn't be in your best interest to meet up with him privately. But that is exactly what happened, and make no mistake, she was very much a victim of this. She spoke about it in a now deleted video. I do remember watching the video, but all I can really find now are just some clips left on TikTok.
Obviously, you know I can't talk about the R word really on a public platform like this, but that was an invitation for him to start doing stuff.
There's honestly not really much I can say. You know, Paul Breach, he denied them, obviously. Nothing happened, and at the end of the day, they were just left as allegations. Even now, in the last couple of weeks, there is still like a back and forth going on.
Grace has admitted lying about moments and instances that she formulates in.
Today was meant to be a social media free day, but it's not. And only in 2025 can he say my name. Has it taken him that long? No, I didn't lie. I know I haven't admitted to lying, so please get your facts straight.
Now listen, we've got no way of knowing what actually happened, but at the very least, you would think from that point on that she'd stay clear of TikTok creeps, probably for life. We're talking about UK TikTok though, so obviously that's not what happened, because sometime after, she actually met up with another 40-year-old creep. He's also famous in the UK, and I mean, he doesn't really need an introduction.
But remember, she's half my age, bruv. So I'm lucky to be alive.
Obviously, it's General G, and he's probably about as infamous as Paul Breach at this point. I mean, for a man that doesn't groom, he's done a lot of grooming. At that side, all he's really known for is, like, I don't know, flying through the windshield of a car.
HS has fucking walked off. Left his McLaren and walked off. Fucking hell. Hey, General, you good? You alright?
It still does get me, to be fair. He's maybe the only man that could be dying at the side of the road. And people's first reaction is still just to take the piss. Get one last jab in there, get one last clip.
Aye, that's not trust, man.
And I'd have sympathy, but he actually threatened to batter me, so I'm not sure I can. I'll be real. See me on road, run and hide. If you value that jaw, cry about it, nobody. You'll always be looking over your shoulder, you nobody. Watch out and run and hide, you nobody mouthy cunt. Now listen, I ain't too worried. I don't really need to be looking over my shoulder. The smell's probably enough. The funniest detail, by the way, was that he sent these at like fucking 4:30 in the morning. But at this point, that is the least of his worries, because him and this Grace girl, recently, they flew out of Thailand, and upon coming home, the outcome of this wasn't actually that unpredictable.
I swear on my mother's life, on my nan's life, may God strike me dead if I'm lying, because I know a lot of you will think that this is a joke. General G has now been arrested in the UK for sexual assault.
He got arrested for sexual assault.
Now listen, straight off the bat, as far as we know, nothing actually came from this. I mean, the guy himself was back on TikTok live days later. The only people that could really know what happened in that room were Grace and, you know, General G themselves. But it's fair to say that given the context, people weren't exactly quick to believe this.
Sexual assault on who?
Me.
But did he?
So that's... Yes.
What?
Yes. That's
Shut up!
No, I'm not lying. Like, he's at... And do you know what the funniest part of it all is? He left a fucking pot of lube in the room.
Listen, if this news came via anybody but HS Tik Tok, because that's the guy that nearly killed him in a car crash earlier, well then people would be probably more receptive to believing this. That wasn't the case though, and it's fair to say that people were catching on to a pattern. She would get with an older man who was also a notorious TikTok creep, and then after clip farming for long enough and presumably funneling people to her OnlyFans, she would then make a vague allegation that went nowhere, and then ties would be cut. Now listen, it happened in once, not great. 2, a little bit worse. 3 of them though, well, as you've seen at the start of the video, that is exactly where we're at.
Will you be my Valentine?
The teddy bear says yes.
Ah, I guess what? Do you like roses? Because I rose you.
Thank you.
Will you be my Valentine for the 14th of February?
As I said at the start, this is Ryan Windridge, and he is third in line. Full disclosure, by the way, she hasn't accused him of anything. Yeah, but the clip farming that's going on is in the exact same vein as what was going on with Paul Breach and General G. And to be perfectly honest, they all just kind of speak for themselves.
I reckon Grace should put on some weight. She looked bloody good. Not that she don't look good now, but she looked good. So keep running it up, guys. Like, smiley face for Grace to put weight on, sad face for Grace to stay the way she is.
Her face says it all, really. Even she didn't sign up for this one. I will personally be putting a sad face because I don't think they should be pressured into changing themselves. Now I'm joking, smiley face.
She looks good now, but she did look bloody... Well, she's 10 out of 10 now, but she looked 20 out of 10, you know? There you go, smiley face 1. There you go, Grace. Told you, didn't I? Told you, like, people are great. You need to start believing yourself more.
I don't think I really need to say anything else, to be fair. This one is funny enough in isolation. But all these clips are just going mental at the moment, and they're all just equally as weird.
Apparently you're uncomfortable with me.
Huh?
You're uncomfortable with me.
Well, when you got a brick on a live, maybe.
I'll be real, probably the worst brick to hit UK TikTok since the incident. But this lad does have autism, and it's fair to say that he is probably just being fucked with a little bit.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, Ryan, come on.
A little bit might be an understatement. There's even clips where she's like goading, saying she's going to collab with Bevo on OnlyFans.
It's not up to me, it's up to you.
It's a reoccurring theme, but the picture kind of does speak 1,000 words again. It's clip farming, but I also feel like only she really knows it is. And again, it's really not unreasonable to say she's just doing this to funnel people to her OnlyFans, because this type of content is now being posted directly on those pages. And yet, despite this, and despite how many times people have told him this is what's going on, the guy just seems to not want to believe it.
Good friends, yes. No, Grace is not using me. Grace is definitely not using me. She's different. Like, in a good way. Different in a good way.
I'm sure she's not, to be fair. She's only ever, always done it. And if you're kind of wondering why she picked him, one, he is doing all right on TikTok. I mean, he gets views in the same way that someone like Bevo gets views, but attention is attention at the end of the day. On a deeper level, though, it turns out this lad might have some stuff on his record.
No sending news to anyone.
Yeah, exactly. If you're a bloke or a woman, don't send anything to anyone because they can take a picture on their other phone. They can literally do anything. There's so much technology out there where they can take things without you even knowing. So don't send anything inappropriate.
Now, if it sounds like he's speaking from experience, that is because he is. This is from an interview with Rory Paints Dates. And to be fair to him, he did at least ask him the question, like, straight up.
If I knew she was 15, I wouldn't talk to her.
Okay. But she told you she was 19?
Yeah, and then she literally resent the pictures that I sent ages ago and put 15 to make me look like I'm a...
But still, I would say messaging a 19-year-old's pretty young for you.
Yeah.
You're 33?
Yeah, but...
Now, there's still debate as to whether the girl was actually 15. In the same way we don't know about the allegations earlier, the same kind of applies here. When it comes to Grace, though, it's clear she knows that hanging out with him is going to be controversial, because when you're making clips of someone that is renowned as a creep, well, obviously, they're going to do the rounds and they're going to promote her OnlyFans even further. As well as that, he actually tried to straight up just defend the age gap between him and Grace.
But David Tennant sees someone who's 12 years younger than him, and he don't know if you know who David Tennant is.
I do know David Tennant.
He's seeing someone who's 12 years younger than me, and I'm hanging out with Grace, and she's 12 years younger than me. I'm no worse than Simple Simon. Come on, he's like could be my dad, and he likes to see women in their early 20s. Simple Simon's like 54.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, the interviewer's face kind of says it all. I just feel like the outcome here is slightly inevitable. Let me know what you think it's going to be. Again, I think the answers will be pretty similar universally. And with that said, like and sub, or you're going to be next.